Hello, everybody tuning in to tonight's Beacon Live session. I am Miss Lu.
And I'm Daniel Chia.
Yes, and we would like to say a very happy Lunar New Year to everybody who's tuning in who's tuning in live. And if you're watching this in the future, I hope you're going to be blessed by this live stream as well.
Yeah, so today is episode 16, which, it's just been a blessed 4 months,
Yes.
past 4 months of weekly live streams. And, we were doing so many live streams prior to the start of this series, but it's just been amazing that we get to do 16 episodes of a Christian live stream.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to Chris Chua from Eden Resources for making this happen. And his heart for the musicians in Singapore is really amazing. And if you want to hear more of his story, he was on as a guest on. I don't remember which episode, but it was the last live
Episode
stream.
10.
Yeah, episode 10. So that was the last live stream of 2020. So go check that out, and you'll get to know a little bit more about the man who has helped us make this live stream series happen.
And let's jump into the comments and let's see who's here bright and early.
We have Daryl for sure. He's always the first one on the scene. Hi, Daryl.
Yeah,
Happy
hey,
New
Daryl.
Year. And good evening to you too. Thank you for tuning in. And to those who are watching, please don't forget to like and share this live stream. Hopefully, we'll have more people joining us, your friends, your family, who will hopefully enjoy both the stories as well as the music that will happen tonight.
Yeah, we have Chris as well, Chris Chua,
Hey, Chris.
our sponsor. He says hi to Alarice, Ian, ourselves, and Daniel Lin is here as well.
That's
so
right.
maybe we can give a quick introduction of our guests this week.
Yes, so we have 3 guests joining us today from AWAKEN Generation, and we'll get into their story and how they got to know each other later when we bring them on. But tonight we have Alarice Hong, Daniel Lin, as well as Ian Chew.
So if you guys watched the last episode that we had, which was 2 weeks ago, we actually had Faith from Awaken Generation as well, sharing her testimony and songs, mainly in Mandarin.
Yeah.
So today we will have it mainly in English.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't have to try to
Stress.
speak and stress. Oh, I think Faith is here.
Hey, Faith
in
is
the
here. Hi,
comments.
Faith. Hello.
Hi Faith.
Yes.
Yes, we were just talking about her and she popped in.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can check out that episode as well. Just lovely
15.
tunes and her sharing is really inspiring as well. So so actually last week we were supposed to have a session featuring Seeds and Ian, but unfortunately Seeds was not feeling very well, so we cancelled that session. So actually it's just nice. We have 2 back-to-back episodes for Awaken Generation.
That's right. And on that note, please continue keeping Seeds in prayer. There is the hashtag called A Better Thing, and you can read her story and her testimony. I believe we shared the link to her, I think, first article as well. So please keep her in prayer for recovery, for healing, and for both Ian and Seeds as they tackle this chapter together.
And we have Adeline Gunn.
Hi, Adeline.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Yeah, and
Yes.
just don't forget to just share this. If you know of friends who need some encouragement, some music in their lives. You can share this on both YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think now would be a good time to invite our 3 special guests on, and please welcome them.
Yay! Virtual applause.
Hello.
Yay!
Hi. I will scoop my way in. Thanks for having us.
Hello.
Check test. Hi. Yes, thank you for joining us. It's so nice to see the 3 of you here in our humble studio. And
Lovely studio. It's
Yay.
so cozy.
thank you. Yeah. So everybody who comes to the studio often say that it looks bigger on screen than it actually is. So yes.
That's the magic of cameras. right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. We're trying to make as best of a use of this space as we can. So yes, we're glad we have all 3 of you here, and we're really looking forward to the music. Sitting in for the sound check, I'm just blown away, and I can't wait for the viewers to really be blessed by the music and the stories tonight.
Amen.
Yeah. So before we start, I want to ask you guys, how do you know each other, and also how did you all become a part of Awaken Generation?
Okay, maybe
Very
I'll share
polite.
because I feel like I am connected to the both of them.
Yeah.
So, okay, maybe I'll start with Ian first. So Ian was actually part of our school in 2015. So Awaken Generation, we actually run a worship school, and we had a vocal stream in 2015, and this guy decided that I want to sign up, and he did, and we went on a mission trip together. So we invited our students to sign up to go with us to minister in Penang in Langkawi. It was like a 2-week mission trip, and I think maybe 4 students signed up,
5.
and so 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And Ian was one of them, and I remember on this mission trip we were on a ferry ride from going to Langkawi, and then I was seated next to Ian, and I just looked at him and I'm like, Ian, do you feel called to full-time ministry? Yeah, and that was when he shared that. Yes, I didn't know he didn't cry, but he said yes, I've had the call since I was young, but never had the wasn't the right open door before, and so I was like, hey, let's pray and let's just let's see, because I really just see the gift and grace and anointing on Ian's life as a worship leader and as a songwriter. And so now fast forward to 2021, and he is actually now overseeing the school. So you've been promoted.
Wow. An incredible journey. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. So I mean, it was a real pleasure and a real honor. I mean, first of all, to be part of like Awaken Generation School as a student, and getting to know like Alarice and Calvin as well, who's behind the camera. Just amazing mentors, along with the others as well, and I think being part of that community gave me a chance to grow in the giftings and the calling that the Lord had for me in my life. And 5-6 years on, this is where I am, and this is how I've journeyed on for the past year, and in worship and music, and it's been an awesome journey.
I'm so glad to hear that. And
and over here we have Daniel
Yes.
Lin, and I think the first time that it was the first time that we met was when I was invited to SJSN,
Yes, that's right.
to your home church,
That's right.
youth service, and to minister in song.
Yep. I think that was more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think like 10 to 12
Pre-Awaken
years ago.
Generation.
Yeah, pre-Awaken Generation, like way before Awaken Generation. And I can't remember what song I shared. Do you? No.
I don't either.
I guess it wasn't
Been a
that
while.
impactful. No, but we really struck a friendship, since then, and and then in 2015 when we started Awaken Generation, that was when I started sharing the vision of the school with Daniel, and he got really excited because worship he can share his story as well, but it's very close to his heart. And so then we started the journey of building this vision together. So he served on our board for the first 5 years of the ministry, and has been such a huge blessing to Calvin and I. Fun facts. So I think all of Dan's boys are watching tonight. Hey, you guys, please comment. Please comment if you have a question for Gama. So they've got 5 boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
And they're all watching it today.
Yeah,
Yay.
and Calvin and I got parents to number 4. Hi, John. Hi.
Yay.
Please give me a smiley face. Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
Anything else you want?
No, I think it was really amazing how 5 years ago they decided to start Awaken Generation, and for myself, I've been involved in ministry as well, especially with the youth. And I think the whole idea of being able to train the next generation of worship leaders, music ministers, was something that was missing in this part of the world. And so I said, let me support in any way I can and be a part of this journey. So I'm also very thankful that they allowed me to be part of it.
Allowed. We were blessed. We were very blessed.
I was
Yeah.
blessed. Yeah.
I'm sure every single one of you played such an important role in making Awaken Generation what it is today. So speaking on the vision of Awaken Generation, would you like to share more on, as one of the co-founders, what the vision was and how it has evolved to today?
Yeah. Usually, like, I have a coffee with someone for 5 hours to share the vision, but I'll try to condense it.
Espresso shot.
Yes, espresso short version. I really feel Awaken Generation is really. It came out of both Calvin and I. So Calvin is here. Calvin's my husband. He's behind the scenes, supporting
Shout
today. Shout out to Calvin. And so my heart has always been, growing up, has been worship and songwriting. It's just something that God has put in me. And for Calvin, it's always been discipleship and evangelism. Sharing the gospel. And so when we when God called the both of us to Singapore separately. So I came in 2010, and Calvin came in 2011, and we met at church. We got married, and when we were praying about what we wanted to do with our lives, we felt the Lord say full-time ministry, and that it would be a culmination of both our hearts for worship, songwriting, and also like discipleship. And really, when I say discipleship, I really just mean mentoring young people, into knowing God. Yeah, and so 2014 was the year that we started dreaming about this vision, and what we saw as we prayed was this vision of a greenhouse, a place where you can take the most endangered plants and species, and you put them in a place where in the right environment, the right climate, they begin to thrive, and they flourish into what God had always destined them to be. And so so we knew that that would be the culture of the school. And so we knew it would be something like a hub, because we in our vision we saw people coming into this place, meeting God, getting equipped, being empowered, and then being sent out. Yeah, and so then we were like, okay, I think the structure of this thing is a school. And so 2015 was the first year that we started, and we had 4 streams at the time: songwriting, vocals, guitar, and keys. So we were really small team as well. And I remember in our first year, I was like, I don't know how many students to expect to come. I remember someone who was praying for us. She calls me maybe 2 months before before the school started, and she was like, how many applications do you have? I said, oh, maybe about 10 so far, but that's maybe what we should expect. And she said, oh, Alarice, but what number would signups reach, that if you reach this number, that you would say that this is crazy and it can only be God? And I said, oh, if it goes past 40, like that's a big number. I'm not sure we can handle that. And then in the end, 2015, we had 49 students sign up. So I thought that was just a very sweet way, of the Lord saying that this is not just something that you thought of, but this is something that is on my heart for Singapore to really raise up worshippers, and to mentor worship musicians and worship leaders, songwriters. So one of the big things that we love to do at Awaken Generation as well is to unlock songs. Yeah, so songwriting is a huge part of the ministry. The phrase that God gave us when we started was unlock the sound of worship. Yeah, and so every year we have been doing live recordings. So we've been, gathering as songwriters, both mentors and students, and then we just write these songs that God has put on our heart. We produce it, and then we release it to the world, and some of these songs, which some of them we'll be doing tonight actually, are being sung by churches. Yeah, so it's just a real joy to be able to see these songs be a blessing to the local church, and also just bring hope and encouragement. So that's my espresso version
Beautifully
of the
done.
story.
Yes. And I guess if anything comes to mind later on, feel free to share it.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
think the fact that Ian is here is testament to the fact that, this greenhouse, this vision that God had planted in you, in both of your hearts, is working, right? Yeah. So I'm
Totally.
looking forward to the music.
Urine.
The music that you've made together. And I believe that we're gonna be premiering a new song as well later on. So
yes,
stick
a
around for
very
that.
brand new song. Yeah.
A really beautiful one. And I think maybe now might be a good time to start our first one. Would you like to introduce it to everybody?
Yeah, sure. The first song I'll lead is a song called I'll Be. And the idea for this song came when I was actually at a worship conference, and the pastor who was speaking, he actually shared that we know in Genesis that God spoke the world into being. God spoke creation into being. And then so that's when he said, like, do we realize that we are created out of God's voice, that we are actually a song of the Lord that's being played, so that really struck me. So that revelation that, like, wow, like we are representing God, like on this earth, and we are like literally like a song that's being played for people to hear and for people to come to know who this amazing God is. And so I remember when I left that conference, these words just came to me, which became the verse, which is, how you loved me when you formed me, you sang me into being, you set my purpose into motion, created me for grander things, and yeah, and so that became the theme of the song, that, like, that we're all created for a purpose. We were born here to represent another kingdom, and that we're supposed to bring light and hope to the world. And one amazing story from about this song was, one time I was invited to a chapel service of a school. Yeah, and I was praying, like, okay, which song should I do? And this song just came into mind. And yeah, so I sang this song, and usually at schools, kids may not really be listening, but I hope, my godson, you're listening, right? Yeah, and so I wasn't sure if the song really touched people or not. But that night, I got an Instagram message from a girl, and she actually said, "Hey, I just want to thank you for singing that song at chapel service today, because actually last week I tried to overdose on some meds because I wanted to end my life, but something about that song gave me hope to live." And that's the story of this song. That no matter where all of us are at in life, if we're here on earth, we're born to know Him and to love Him and to bring His love to others. And so that is my encouragement through this song. So
Wonderful. Words are powerful. Take it away.
how you loved me when you formed me, you sang me into being. You set my purpose into motion, created me for grander things. I'll be your song, I'll be your message, from a world that I've not seen, but I belong to. I'll be your voice, your hands of healing, and I'll be all that you've dreamed for me. And I am strong, filled with your spirit, a vessel of your love. And I am yours, now and forever. Nothing can tear this love apart. I'll be your song, I'll be your message, from a world that I've not seen, but I belong to. I'll be your voice, your hands of healing, and I'll be all that you've dreamed for me. Oh, 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 oh. Now and forever, nothing can tear this love apart. I'll be your song, I'll be your message, from a world that I've not seen, but I belong to. I'll be your voice, your hands of healing, and I'll be all that you've dreamed for me. I'll be all that you've dreamed for me.
Amazing. I'll Be by Alarice. And I want to delve into the comments because we have Lucy who says, wow, praise God. And thank you for being here, Lucy. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now. That was a beautiful, beautiful song called I'll Be, and I believe it's available online if people want to hear it as
you
well.
can search Awaken Generation on Spotify or YouTube, and you'll be able to find that song.
That's wonderful. Thank you for blessing us with that song. And now that we have played that song, I wanted to ask you about your story as an artist. How did you get here? How did you start singing, writing songs?
Okay, that's another 5-hour story, but I will share the espresso version again. So actually, like I had zero idea that I could sing growing up because no one told me. So I at AG we always teach the power of affirmation that when we see a gift in one another's lives, let's call it out. And so I had no idea I could sing up until I was living in Australia, and then we went. My entire grade went for this outdoor camp. And this outdoor camp is like a legit outdoor camp where you literally don't bathe for 7 days, and you find your own holes to do your business, and you cook food from very army style, and so I remember like on this particular trip, I don't know, we just felt really free, and so when we were canoeing, I just sang this Pocahontas song called Just Around the River Bend. And so we were just canoeing. I was like, just around the river bend, I look once more, and then suddenly like all my friends is like, oh my gosh, like Rice, you can sing. And so then I became the human jukebox, for the rest of that camp. And then coming back to school, suddenly like all my people that I didn't know and teachers came up to me and they were like, I heard you can sing. Can you sing for me? Up until one day, so my school back in Sydney at that time, they had a very big budget and they held the music festival every year, and it was held at the Sydney Opera House. Yeah, and so suddenly this choir conductor of my house came up to me, and then she was like, I heard you can sing. Can you audition for this solo piece? I'm like, oh, okay. I've never sung in public in my entire life. I think I was like 15 years old at that time. And I showed up for this. She said, learn the song Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. And so I just rocked up. I sang this song, and she looked at me. She's like, you got the part, And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And so my first time ever singing in public was at the Sydney Opera House, And I felt like that was just crazy. And I also believed like it was God's way of just saying, hey, pay attention. Pay attention to what I've given you. Yeah, because I think after that, people were just like, hey, I was just really moved by your voice. I was moved by the song. And so then after that just, started my journey, and then like learning guitar, songwriting, and then started, just realizing that, oh, with 4 chords, you can write a song, and then started writing and then producing these songs. And so that was my journey. And then coming to Singapore, at that time, my album called Sunday Afternoon was released by Warner Music. So we worked together for the album, which was really awesome, very exciting, up until 2014 when I recorded my last album called The Kingdom. And when I was launching this album, it was just funny that like as I was singing this song, I felt like because everyone was just seated and just watching me, but for some reason, like, my heart had already shifted that like, hey, I just want people to just come into God's presence and just to know him, and because I had really been growing in worship at that time. And so I spoke to Calvin, my husband, that night, and I was like, I feel like God's given me a word to really like just take a step of faith and move into the area of worship and worship songwriting, songs for the church, and songs for the church to be able to sing. And long story short, I had two very supernatural confirmations that week that I was supposed to go in this direction. And then after that, the Lord gave the word for Awaken Generation, and now we've been not just me writing worship songs, but also a whole team of other songwriters that we get to raise. So it's really a dream, like to be able to do what we've been called to do. And it's just interesting when we look back at our journey as an artist. We may not know the full story, but it says that his word is a lamp unto our feet. And so we may not know the whole way, but this is where faith comes in, and we take a step of faith, we obey that, and then God is the one that opens the doors. And yeah, so that's my encouragement for everyone.
That is so beautiful. And I just have to say, even though you have acknowledged and recognized those as supernatural confirmations, I think many times a lot of us, we still miss these big signs that God has put in our right in our faces. So hopefully everybody who's watching here tonight or today, whatever time you're watching this, and yeah, just look out for things that God might be saying to you. What is He placing in your life today that you might have missed out? You know, that's a good reminder for everybody here. Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, how many students do you estimate that have passed through Awaken Generation's doors?
Well, actually, I know the figures quite well because we just wrote a newsletter. So there's been we have graduated 438 students from 110 churches in Singapore.
Praise God.
Yeah,
Amen.
and this year we have 148 signed up, which is the biggest cohort. And
Congratulations.
yeah.
I am.
Yeah, so yeah, just really excited because it's like the biggest cohort that we've had, and what we hope to do is to actually start an international program as well, so that we can equip worship leaders and songwriters from other nations, and so we're currently this is where Ian's expertise comes in, but he's building an online school for us that will be coupled with an intensive. So anyone watching from overseas, one day Awaken Generation will have a worship school for internationals. So something to look out for, yeah.
Really, really exciting. And to think that if you hadn't acknowledged that shift in your heart and listened to what God had put into your heart at that point, all these wouldn't have happened. So we praise God for your heart and for acting on it, not just listening to it and then ignoring it. So we're glad you're here. We're glad you guys are all here. And looking forward to the next tune that you've prepared for us. And would you like to let us know what the story is behind it?
So this is the brand new song, because we just finished writing it just a few weeks ago, and to be honest, we're still refining it. We haven't even come up with a final arrangement, but it's exciting to share new songs that that would that really resonate in our hearts. And so this song is called Close, and I wrote the verse during Circuit Breaker. So this was when no one could go out. We were all feeling isolated. We're all feeling what is going on, and I felt the Lord, speak to me through Psalm 91, that He was our covering, our refuge, that we could hide under the shadow of His wings. And so that was how the verse came about, and I could not finish the song. So we waited a year. We had a songwriting retreat for Awaken Generation songwriters a month ago. And I just, in my vulnerability, I said, hey, guys, I have this verse, but I have no idea where it's going to go for the chorus. And so we just sat down, we worked on it, and this amazing chorus just came out. And so I just feel like this song is just a wonderful blend of like singer-songwriter, but also very worshipful and can be sung in like worship congregations. So yeah, so this is Close.
Though the terror of night is threatening to overtake your voice, I'll lift up my song and know the God who holds me close. Though an army befalls me, no one else can shield me like you do. I'll lift up my song and know the victory is close. You are my strength, my shield. You are my portion, still my delight. Here in the night I will not fear. I will hold fast to you. Your love has seen me through every fight. Under your wings I will abide. Through the darkness you are beckoning me closer to your heart, lifting my eyes eyes to see the dawn is breaking through. Oh, you are my strength, my shield. You are my portion, still my delight. Here in the night I will not fear. Oh, I will hold fast to you. Your love has seen me through every fire. Under your wings I will I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again. I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again. I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again. I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again. I can sing again. I can live again. I can hope again. Oh, 'cause you are my strength, my shield. Oh, you are my portion, still my delight. Here in the night I will not fear. No, I won't fear, no. I will hold fast to you. Your love has seen me through every fire. Under your wings I will abide. I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again. I am safe here in your presence, and I realize I can breathe again.
Oh, thank you so much for that beautiful song. And maybe, Alarice, could I ask how many songs did you guys write during your songwriting retreat?
Oh yeah, so we had three full days. I think we wrote 21.
No idea. But yeah, it's about that.
Lost count.
Yeah, I think it was over 20 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this amazing group of songwriters in the community that we have in Awaken Generation, all from different churches. So it's very cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that with us. You know, even though you guys just wrote it, so thank you so much. And just jumping into the comments, we have James says Goosebumps, so good, and Faith says it's her favorite song. So that's awesome. And I saw Michelle also. She says beautiful vocals and lovely song. Thank you. Michelle was one of our past guests on Beacon Live as well. And I think now would be a good time to also hear more from Ian. And maybe Ian, you could share with us a bit about your story and testimony, maybe before joining Awaken Gen.
Well, before joining Awaken Generation, I think I first really came to Christ when I was 16 years old. And, I was part of a small little church, but I really grew more in my walk with the Lord when I was in Singapore Poly, and I was part of a organization called Campus Crusade for Christ. And it was also during that period where I felt the call of the Lord growing in my heart, like that burden for full-time ministry, and my heart for missions like really grew when I was part of Campus Crusade as well, and that has always been the dream of my heart. And even after going into national service and then working, and that was always, my heart was always on that, and waiting upon the Lord for doors to open as well. And I did my bachelor's degree and studied and worked at the same time. And when all of that was done, I was like, okay, I came to before the Lord and I said, my heart is still for full-time ministry, and I said, Lord, I want to pray and wait for like open doors to come. And that just happened to be the year, that Awaken Generation started. And so, I mean, not knowing anything, like I just signed up because I just really just only wanted to grow in, my vocals, but not knowing that actually our paths would cross so significantly, actually. So that was how it all kind of happened, and that was my story of how I ended up where I am today. Yeah,
That's amazing. And which course did you join that year? Songwriting or
vocals?
Or
I
vocal?
was part of vocal, and just
Okay.
yeah. I remember that year, the songwriting class they had 12, and they were all ladies. Right, the first year. Yeah.
only.
And so the following year, because I was planning to be part of the AG team, and Alarice was like, hey, why don't you join the songwriting as well? So I was part of the songwriting class like the following year in 2016, which was also the year that I joined the staff in full time. I left my job then and then joined AG full time, and just kind of grew in my songwriting as well. Like, I dabbled in it as any like teenager who loves music would do. Just very cringy and cheesy songs back then, and left it as that, but somehow, songwriting was always something that I kind of like to do. But then more and more I saw that the calling and the significance of releasing original songs and songs that were carried the downloads of heaven, like the revelations of God, had so much power in them. And so more and more, like, I grew in that understanding and grasping that that I guess that assignment, the weight of that assignment of being a songwriter and releasing like the message from God, just gripped my heart like more and more. And so began writing more, and even till today, like I'm part of the AG songwriting team. Just so privileged to be part of like really great songwriters, a group of great songwriters, and just been writing and releasing like music. So yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about your latest EP that you released as well. And this is an individual album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you want to share a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it started about 2 to 3 years ago, and I just turned 30 then. Revealed my age. Oh, sorry. Sorry, dropped something. I just turned 30, and I just felt the leading of the Lord to go on a fast. And so during that period of fast, like, one of the things that the Lord kind of spoke to me about was like, would you put a collection of songs together for revival in the nations, because that's a theme that's very dear to my heart. And it was also during that period, like, the Lord was really clarifying like the call in my life, not just vocationally, but the who He's made me to be and who He's wired me to be. And so the idea for this project came about, and I started writing songs then that would stir the nations towards revival. And I always believed like worship and music would be a catalyst unto revival. And kind of like we've been on that journey as well as a ministry, discovering and realizing the impact and the power that worship has on the nations, and in terms of like evangelism as well. So over the years, I've had a number of songs that sometimes may not be on the Awaken Generation album. So these are some of the songs that I put together and felt like, I guess like the most natural step as an evolution as a songwriter, as a worship leader, was perhaps to release some of my own original music, which I felt would also be a blessing to the body of Christ. And and I just released it finally, like my debut EP. There's 6 songs in there, which I'm sharing 2 of them in the beginning of this year. So yeah, that's a really super thankful for that. Yeah.
That's awesome, and we're gonna share the link to your music on the comments, so you guys you can check it out after this stream. And yeah, and we're so blessed to be able to hear 2 songs that you'll be preparing for us today as well. So maybe if you'd like to share a bit more about the first song.
So the first song that I'm gonna share, it's called Defiant. Sounds very edgy, but interesting enough, like this started out just as a word exercise. You know, it's one of the word exercises that we teach in class as well, and it's just using alliteration because our brains just pick up on patterns. So the repetition of words, and so the chorus, it says, "I stand defiant in the face of fear," right? So all the F, and then with courage in crisis, strength in my spirit. So just a repetition of like words, but it was just a casual like word exercise, and I felt like there was something in there. So I began like working on this song and left it as it was, the chorus, but only managed to finish it like beginning of last year. We were in this period of releasing Songs of Hope, which was which was an initiative and a partnership between like Thirst Singapore and AG as well. So, we were all stuck at home, circuit breaker, lockdown, and all that kind of thing. And I felt like, wow, this song would actually really speak courage and boldness to people, and it would be a song of encouragement as well. So, began, writing the verses for the song, and that was then that we completed it. And I was able to release it as part of like the Songs of Hope period that we were releasing, original songs and music in the online space. So yeah, that was how the song came about.
Awesome. So now we have Ian performing a song called Defiant.
Can I check if the guitar? Oh, sorry, wrong key.
Mountains tall stand before me. I will not forget your promises. In the middle of my affliction, you reveal your steadfast love. And in the darkest night, you dismantle every lie. So I stand defiant in the face of fear, with courage in crisis, strengthen my spirit, and a faith forged in the fiercest flame. No, I will not be shaken, 'cause you are with me. Confronted by all my weakness, you lift my head above adversity. Unshakable and unwavering, you're the God who fights for me. And through the darkest night, you dismantle every lie. So I stand defiant in the face of fear, with courage in crisis, strengthen my spirit, and I have this hope and anchor for my soul. No weapon formed against me shall prevail. I have this hope, and I have this hope and anchor for my soul. So I stand defiant in the face of fear, with courage in Christ is strength in my spirit, and a faith forged in the fiercest flames. No, I will not be shaken, 'cause you are with me. No weapon formed against me shall prevail. No, no weapon. And I have this hope and anchor for my soul.
Man.
Thank you so much for sharing that song. Beautiful song, and yeah, just so amazing. And I guess you mentioned you wrote that during circuit breaker,
Yeah.
and I'm just wondering for maybe all three of you, like, was last year a easy year or difficult year to write songs?
To write
Considering, yeah, was it because you guys had more time? Was it easier to get more songs written, or was it more challenging?
Actually, we had so much time to songwrite. Yeah, because like all distractions were. You just we couldn't do anything else basically, and so yeah, I would be writing throughout the night. Yeah, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's how my mind works. But yeah, came up with a lot of different song ideas. Yeah, but that was for me.
Right.
For you, how about for you?
For
Kid
me,
songs. So.
kids, yeah, we do a bit of songwriting with the kids. Yeah, but we get a lot more time with the family, so it's a different dynamic. Yeah, I do miss those days where you can stay through the night and do recording through the night, write through the night. But the kids have to go to school the next day.
When you're a family man, it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daniel, do you are you still involved in the songwriting as well, currently?
Well, not so much. So I try to support Awaken Generation from behind. So a lot of the work with whether it's the finances or being able to make sure that Awaken Generation has many more years to go. That's where I think I can help in, right? But I think what really resonated was that vision, to really bring music ministers into the world. And I think from my own experience as a worship leader, especially with the youth, it was seeing and being able to look at the young ones being able to make an impact, right? And I think for many of the camps that we used to lead together, a lot of them came back and said, hey, I really didn't know I could make a difference, through song, through worship, or through playing instrument. And that really inspired me to really focus and see how we can groom the next generation of musicians.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And maybe for Ian, how was last year in terms of songwriting for you?
It was interesting. I have to say first of all, it was like a really difficult period, right? Like, some of us actually find it challenging just being stuck at home, not being to head out and all that. But we do get time, with family and things like that. I feel like I wasn't particularly productive in terms of songwriting, although I did write, which is another song that's off the EP called In My Wandering. And I didn't plan it to share it today, so you can check it out on Spotify. But that was actually one of my most honest songs, I feel, and it was the fastest song I've ever written. It just came out, like all of it, in like 15, 20 minutes, because I felt like it was just of how honest it was. And it was really like things that I've been struggling with like internally, and I just want to express it out, and a song that would also encourage myself, that I was singing to myself as well. Yeah, and that was probably like the fruit of the entire like circuit breaker period for me.
Oh, that's cool. And yeah, so Shane shared the link to Ian's Spotify earlier, so you can check out that song. And also, maybe Ian, you can share with us a bit more about the second song you have.
Yeah, sure. The next song I wanted to share is called Present Eternity. The present, and eternity. And it's a song that I co-wrote with one of our dear friends of AG Again, who's one of our songwriting mentors actually, and part of the songwriting group, John Cho. Very gifted lyricist actually. So, he writes amazing songs, but also like poems, and I just love the way he writes poem for his like kids. You can check out his Instagram, like really awesome. So we wrote this song together, but this was also one of the songs that came out from that period of like fasting. And the story, the idea behind this song is, the whole paradigm and idea that God is doesn't exist in the same timeline that we do, in the sense that time doesn't work the same for God as it does for us. And we often say that God exists outside of time, but I've also heard that some people saying that time actually exists within God. So God actually controls the times, and he sees things differently from us. And I think the idea for me that came for this song was the whole idea that God can declare a promise in the present time, but there is a period before like the fulfillment of that promise, and there is that season of like growing and being shaped, and time for that decree to come into fruition. And I feel like many of us sometimes struggle with that time period, where we feel like, God, have you forgotten about that promise that you spoke over us? And I feel like, so this song is a reminder that time doesn't work the same way for God. Instantly and immediately the Lord can actually redeem and actually set a promise into motion. And biblically we've seen like so many biblical characters and figures actually receiving a promise first, but only coming into it like many years later. So this is the idea behind the song, to give hope actually for people who are waiting upon a promise, or are who might be discouraged with the current season that they are in. That this song would actually speak encouragement and hope to them. Yeah. So this is the song.
God eternal, ancient of days, you know the end from the start. Before I spoke, you knew my thoughts, perceived them from afar. And you're writing a story beyond me. You're fusing my life into yours. And you see what's behind and before me. I know my life is yours. You stepped into my future and prepared You're fusing my life into yours. And you see what's behind and before me. I know my life is yours. And all my days are held by you and your divine decree. You speak into my present what you see in eternity. And all my days are held by you and your divine decree. You speak into my present what you see in eternity. You're writing a story beyond me. You're fusing my life into yours. You see what's behind and before me. I know my life is yours.
Thank you so much, Ian, for sharing that song. And, thank you so much to all three of you once again. Just wanted to share, you guys, and what you guys do at Awaken Generation have been a huge inspiration to myself. And I think I can speak on behalf of Payson as well. It's just, sometimes I look back, I've been a professional musician for like so many years. And when was the last time I set aside 3 days to write music, or do anything music related? And I need to do a lot of self-reflection now,
Hey,
but
we can
it's-
songwrite together, man.
Yeah,
we
and-
can songwrite together.
yeah, it's only been like probably since last year that, apart from my first album like 3 years ago, I never even, and I don't want to use not having time as an excuse, but yeah, just was never on my radar, until last year, we really started spending more time in the studio. Initially not by choice, because all the all the live gigs, stopped, and we were like, okay, what can we do? Let's regroup and work on more music. And I think it's really been placed in our hearts that we definitely want to write and perform more Christian music. So ever since we had this idea of Beacon Live, we always knew we wanted to have you guys on at some point. So I'm so glad we had 2 weeks in a row of hearing from you guys. And I hope it also inspires those of you who are watching but feel like you may be musicians, but you serve in church, but maybe you've never tried writing or being involved in the recording process of Christian music. Maybe this might be the year that you can try it out. And I just got reminded also because just last week, I think a really famous jazz pianist called Chick Corea just passed away. And amazing musician. And I've never been, I didn't never studied his music growing up, but he actually left a message for people, before he left the world. And one of the really important points was just he hopes that everyone just gets involved in the process of creating music. And I think that was a really good reminder as well. And yeah, it's definitely gonna be something that is gonna be a much bigger part of what we do coming up. So yeah, thank you so much for encouraging us, and I'm sure you've encouraged a lot of people as well. And I think now might be a good time. Maybe Shane can share the Awaken Generation website. So if anyone is interested in any of their the causes and the various disciplines that they have there, you can check it out, and you can look for the what do you call that, the opening period for registering. And it's so amazing to hear that you have your biggest cohort coming up, which is just amazing, and almost 150 people, and what they can do after the course, and going back into their home church, and it's gonna be amazing. So that's their website, so you can definitely check it out and connect with them on social media as well. So we're coming down to the end of this session, but we also wanted to hear a bit more about this last song that you guys have prepared for us, and why it's so meaningful to you guys.
Yeah, I think this is probably like the song that Awaken Generation has wrote that probably has resonated with the most people, and it's a song that I think quite a number of local churches have been singing in their congregations. And I mean, it's a song really about surrender, about giving our lives for a greater purpose, beyond ourselves, and it's a song about giving our lives to knowing God, and to submit our lives fully unto Him, and I remember writing this song. I think we all have different strengths as songwriters, so I'm really more of a verse writer. Ian is a strong chorus writer, and then we have some others in our team who are like bridge writers, and so I came up with this verse, with the lyrics, "If you're calling me, I will answer. If you're bidding me to come, I will come." So it was just like that kind of longing, and I know it was a song about us responding to the goodness of God and just being drawn in, and then so I had the verse, and then I came to Ian and I said, hey, what do you think? Because I had some sort of chorus, but it wasn't very compelling. It wasn't very compelling, and so Ian was just like, you know what? I think this chorus just has to be like just super simple and straight to the point. And I think some songs, like the best songs are that it's just super simple, straight to the point. And then he was just like, why don't it just a simple hook, and just if the verse is about coming, then let the chorus be like, so I come, so then Jesus I come, the title came out in the chorus, and it's a song that I don't know, it just really has just stirred the hearts of just so many people to be reminded again that yes, I want to give my life to knowing this God, and to surrendering my future and my everything to Him. And so it's an encouragement to us when we sing it, and I pray that it will be an encouragement for all of you as well. And we want to invite Daniel to also play the saxophone with us. So that's exciting. So let's worship together.
If you're calling me, I will answer. And if you're bidding me to come, I will come. And if you're leading me in deeper waters, may I not refuse. Jesus, I come and I surrender. All for your glory, I give my life. Here in this moment, I'm marked forever. I am yours. And if you're drawing me closer, And if you're lifting me higher, and if you're bringing me in a greater purpose, may I not refuse. Oh, so Jesus, I come, I surrender, all for your glory. I give my life. Here in this moment, I'm marked forever. I am yours. Oh, Jesus, I come and I surrender, all for your glory. I give my life. Here in this moment, I'm marked forever. I am yours. And just a glimpse of your glory into my heart, I know that I won't let go. No, I won't let go. And just a taste of your goodness, and in my heart I know that I'm not letting go, that I'm not letting go. Just a glimpse of your glory, and in my heart I know that I won't let go. No, I won't let go. And just a taste of your goodness, and in my heart I know that I'm not letting go, that I'm not letting go. Jesus, I come, I surrender, all for your glory. I give my life. Here in this moment, I'm marked forever. I am Jesus, I come, I surrender, all for your glory. I give my life, God. Here in this moment, I'm marked forever. I am yours.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me join in for this song, beautiful song. And yeah, I can really see how how powerful it can be, with the whole church singing it. And yeah, we definitely go and listen more to that song as well. And so once again, thank you so much to all three of you for spending your Tuesday night with us. And yeah, if you guys want to check out any of the other 15 episodes, you can check it out on this YouTube channel. And yeah, look out for the next few special guests that we will be sharing about in the upcoming sessions. And yeah, and that's it for tonight. And God bless, and we'll see you guys soon. Good night.